When
You said the kids complained about bug bites.
they would come into me every day, oh, Oma, I have a bug bite here.
You said you thought it might be cockroaches.
It might be. The cockroaches were all over the place.
But you say you did not call Child Protective Services.
I did not call Child
But isn't
Protective
it true
Services.
that you talked to a mandated reporter who
Yes.
did call Child Protective Services?
Yes, I did.
And you knew that when you told them that they were going to call Child Protective Services.
I asked them, please don't call. Please
They're a
don't call.
mandated reporter. They have to report. That's literally what that means. Mandatory reporter.
And when they showed up the next day, I was very distraught.
Yeah.
My grandchildren are very important to me. My family is very important
They're very
to me.
important to you. Have you asked how they are over the past 4 months? Have you? Have you even texted asking how one of those children are?
I have texted you.
You have not texted me and asked me how my children are, how I am, how my husband is. None of that has happened, Liz. None of that.
Okay, Liz admits that she reported this information to a mandated reporter, and clearly that means it has to be reported to CPS. So that was a little fuzzy until it happened, but she does admit to calling the police. We're going to find out why next.
My 6-year-old granddaughter loved to play games on my cell phone. One day, my phone was missing. My granddaughter would not give me my phone back, and Janine would not tell her to give me my phone.
Liz told my 6-year-old that she was going to call the police and have her arrested.
I went to the neighbor's house and asked them to call the police. The neighbor called 911.
When the police officer realized that nothing was going on, he said, "Have a nice day," and left. At this point, my children have all told me that they don't want to have a relationship with their grandmother, and knowing how my mother acts and how dramatic she is, I don't blame them.
You called the police on a 6-year-old because he wouldn't give you your phone back?
I didn't call the police on a 6-year-old because she wouldn't give me my phone back. I called the police because my daughter refused to have her daughter return my phone. She knew exactly where it was.
I didn't know where it was. I had asked her several times, give Oma her phone so that she'll leave the room and you can just stay in here with me. And you scared her. You terrified her.
In fact, to this day, every time she sees a police officer, she cowers a little bit. She thinks that they're there for her.
She literally told me she does not want to see you because you called the police on her.
You called the cops on a 6-year-old?
I didn't call.
Yes, you did. Now, don't play semantics with me. You called the cops on a 6-year-old.
I wanted my phone, Dr. Phil. She had looked on my phone. She had read through all my text messages. I felt very violated.
After you gave the phone to the kids
And you
unlocked.
thought that was a police matter.
I told him it's not an emergency.
But you called 911, which is an emergency number.
I really don't want to argue with you about it. It's just,
Well, I wouldn't either if I were you.
I don't want to argue about
I
it.
mean, come on. I mean, I'm just talking about common sense here. If you guys are living in a place that is really a bad mess.
Well, let me ask you this, Dr. Phil. If she thought it was so deplorable, why'd she even move in? And then why did she complain when we asked her to leave?
Well, let me ask you this question. Why is the house in such bad array to begin with?
It's not. It was in a mess because I was not feeling good at the time. But under normal circumstances, it's not.
Come on, don't try to defend me.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to defend.
I'm just trying to be reasonable. There's two sides to this. And if the place is a pigsty, it's a pigsty.
Yeah, no, and again, it wasn't the best situation. You know, again, I was working. I was coming home after work, helping out as much as I could. We had a 13-year-old who, after school, she was helping. And again, we had another person in the house who was supposed to be helping, but wasn't pulling their weight. Because of that, you know, again, obviously, Liz likes to always be the victim in a lot of situations. What will happen is she'll make up a situation such as, you know, again, she didn't call the police, yet she just admitted she called the police. You know, she went next door. I didn't give them the local number. You know, it wasn't an emergency, and yet they responded in an emergent fashion. She always comes up with these stories and somehow is the victim of these situations that she creates herself.
Gotcha. I'll get to that in a minute. Now answer my question.
Yes, sir.
Why are you raising 4 children in a house that is in such disarray? You weren't feeling good? Got it. There are a lot of other people in the house, and you weren't an invalid.
I aired those same grievances. I shouldn't be the only one responsible for picking up after everybody. So that is something that I aired my grievances with, including with Liz.
And Dr.
And I have had my discussions with Nathan about it, too. So, I mean...
and you weren't helpless, right?
No, I still got up and cooked dinners and took care of the kids.
And, you know, here's the problem I've got. And listen, this is just common sense. And look, I see a lot of stuff sitting up here.
Sure.
And you guys are calling in the government to your family. You don't want to be doing that.
No.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we'd had enough with Liz.
How do you feel about the fact that she's been homeless for 4 months?
I want to know why she's homeless. She moved in with a church friend, and I know she did. Why are you homeless, Liz?
I have never lived with a church friend. My church put
Grab
me
my
up.
phone.
My church.
You texted me that lady had crazy rules that you didn't want to live with.
No, that wasn't a church lady.
Oh, and whoever it was. However, my point is you would rather live in your truck than to follow somebody's rules.